Are you serious? Are you serious? I'm in the production room right now. We're getting ready for tonight's powerful broadcast. It's going to be beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern with Mike from around the world. We'll be talking about the 5 waves of energy and the effects of Nibiru, Planet X, and how it applies to these last days. Everybody get a cup of coffee and calm down. I mean, just calm down. I don't know if you guys have even got the, have you ordered my coffee? Are you serious? Are you serious coffee? Check it out. It's at my website. Guys, here's the deal. Thank you for being a member of Patreon. Thank you for being a member of Patreon. Truly, you're making a difference and you're helping us reach people with the gospel of Jesus Christ. All right, so plagues. The Bible says the last days there's going to be these plagues. Now, there's been 18,000 people have died already this year from Ebola. Legionnaires, 70 people sick with Legionnaires. 2 are dead. Atlanta, Georgia. West Nile's on the rise. Bubonic plague is resurfacing. Polio is coming back strong. Tuberculosis is back. It's just, you wouldn't believe it, folks, the plagues that are here. There's 12 billion rats right now in Los Angeles. There's concern of the bubonic plague, the black plague. All kinds of weird leprosy. 18 cases of leprosy in Los Angeles right now. It's insane. And it's like all the plagues, the old plagues of the Bible and the plagues of Egypt and the diseases are returning. Well, I have to tell you about a plague that most people have even never heard of, but it was called the Dancing Plague of 1518. It was 501 years ago. There was an epidemic in 1518 of a dancing mania. It occurred in Strasbourg, France, during the time of the Holy Roman Empire. In July of 1518, around 400 people were infected with a plague that affected their neural psychosis, the neurology. And it caused people to dance. Now, to dance, to get up and dance, couldn't stop. Matter of fact, 400 people were dancing. In a period of a few days, they couldn't stop day or night. Some of them went for as much as almost a month. A lot of them just collapsed. Several had heart attacks. Some had strokes. Some died of exhaustion. And the outbreak began in July of 1518. A woman, Mrs. Trophia, began to dance fervently in the streets there in France, in Strasbourg. It lasted somewhere between 4 and 6 days, but within a week there were 34 other people who were out dancing in the streets. Within a month there was over 400 people dancing. They were predominantly female, but there were males also. Some of these people died from heart attacks, strokes, exhaustion, dehydration, all kinds of reasons. And this was reported at that period. They called the plague. It killed 15 people per day during this process. However, the sources of the city of Strasbourg at the time of the events did not mention the number of deaths or total fatalities, but they said at one point about 15 people a day were dropping over dead from dancing. Now, the historical documents include physicians' notes and cathedral sermons and local and regional chronicles, as well as information at the Strasbourg City Council has documented, and it is absolute evidence that people danced till they died from this dancing plague. Now, it worsened. It got worse for a while. They couldn't understand what was causing it. Was it a natural disease? Was it a supernatural cause? Was it an astronomical or an astrological something from the falling on them from outer space? Was it in the water? What they usually did was, in those days, a lot of times if somebody got real sick, they would do prescribed bleeding. They try to bleed out the sickness. They had absolutely, it was insane. People would dance day and night. They just couldn't stop. It was like a psychic contagion one physician wrote. Historian John Waller stated that the marathon runners could not have lasted this intense workout that these men and women did over 501 years ago. And the modern theories include maybe it was food poisoning or some kind of toxic psychoactive chemical product, some kind of fungus maybe that grows commonly on grains and or such as rye. Now, since this plague has happened, they believe that it was some type of fungus that was growing on the rye, creating this historical anomaly. And because since then, there's a disease called chorea, spelled Chorea, chorea. And people who have gotten sick from chorea, a lot of times will can't sit still, will dance, or if you ask them to hold out their hands, they'll start playing the piano. It was known as the piano disease. So doctors now, even today, if they suspect someone has gotten the virus, which can come from grains, especially rye, a fungus that would grow on damp rye. It's a psychogenic illness. The doctors, will say, hold out your hands. And when the person holds out their hands, they start playing the piano, okay? And they call it the piano disease. But really what it is, it's called chorea, all right? And that is the Greek word for to dance. If you ask a person with just little bits of this, they might get up and start dancing, okay? They're real antsy. So this is an actual disease. Well, here's the thing we're finding out. Due to the GMO, the genetic modified organisms, the GMO wheat, the GMO rye, the GMO grains that are being manipulated now, this fungus grows more rapidly on the GMO product than on the natural product. So the concern is that a return of the dancing disease from 1518, the dancing plague of 1518, 501 years later, we are running a potential risk of an outbreak of the dancing plague caused because of GMO re-engineering of the rye and the wheat, which the fungus grows on better than on the original rye. We could set ourselves up for a psychosic pathogen. Okay? What? The dancing disease is back. It could be as one of the signs of the plagues of the last days. I'll be back with more current world events. Thank you for being a partner with me. Thank you so much for being members of our Patreon channel. Thank you. I'll continue to bring the unexplained, the outrageous, the unknown, the supernatural, the phenomenon, the conspiracy theories, the biblical prophecies of these last days here on Patreon. Thank you.